Hi, you guys. Sorry I'm a little late. Look, I got stuff on my face. Best I can. Let's try to do that like that. So basically, my tablet died. Charger always missing. I ain't gonna lie. Let's see if I can see the comments though, because that's the reason why I can't ever do it from my phone, is because I can't see the comments. So we're just gonna hope to the Lord, baby Jesus, that I can see the comments. So let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me mute you. Let me mute you guys. Hold on. Let me figure it out how to mute you guys. I got to figure out how to mute them because you guys, I just said I was on a live. Sorry, you guys. Let me figure out how to make this work. Huh. All messages are visible. So can someone leave something in the chat? Oh, okay, Brad. Okay, now I see. Okay, I see one thing in the chat. Okay, okay. Now I'm understanding and I see it in chat. But now we have to make sure that my phone doesn't die. So let's start there, okay? You guys? And you guys don't want to see my little cute outfit. So I'm going to give me 1 second because they obviously don't understand I'm on a live. Sorry, you guys, setting up a little bit because I didn't have enough time, of course. And my tablet died, like I said. You know? Tablet died. And I realized that when I get ready to post this, I'll just edit that stuff out. So I don't have that in there. But the last thing that I want is for this to die. So let's start there. So the reason why I was late, because I was painting my nonprofit. And, you know, day just got away from me. All right. Day got away from me. But it's okay because, oh, whoa, why did it zoom me? Aha! Okay. Now I'm ready. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to talk about this shortly because obviously today is not my day. And, oh, you might hear my grandson crying because he's here. I wanted to say thank you to the people who got me this at the Christmas party. That was very nice. I do love this, right? So much I'm gonna eat it. But so you guys know, when I grew up on the farm, this was the candy bar that we had. So thank you to the people who gave me like some childhood back. That's so great. I love it. Okay. I'll email you personally when I have a little bit more time. So I don't really know why that's still up there like that, but maybe if I do that. Okay, now I can see that who's here. Okay, so I can't really see myself, but that's okay. As long as I can see the messages, that's good. So welcome to Town Hall. And this week, I decided that I wasn't pretty much going to do like almost a Q&A. Instead, I wanted to teach. See the paint on my hands, y'all? I wanted to teach a subject. So, oh, it's like all melted. So today's subject is types. So, character types versus submission types. So, okay, like this is going to be everywhere. Oh, whoa. Okay, so basically, there are two different things. Sometimes the actor may come and say, what's my type, right? And they expect for the agent to know their type. Not that we shouldn't, right? We should know your type, but a type can mean like so many different things, because when we say type, right, that could be a being, meaning you and your essence, and that also could be what you could play. So with that being said, there are so many ways or things that we would use to be able to submit you. So I wanted to go through a few of the types that are in the submission, so that you guys could see where you were going wrong or where you could fix some stuff within your profiles. So at the end, right, we're going to do like this little game. And it's going to be like, how many jobs after this could you be submitted on? So when you see me going down the types, hey, Jesse, you're going to see what you basically can be submitted on and what you could not be submitted on. So let's play and let's learn. But first, the O. Henry bar. So good. So I'm going to eat it first. So good, guys. Hey, everybody. Okay. So types. The first one I wrote down, and mind you guys, I took these all off of the casting sites. So anything that I'm giving you is not something that is not on the casting site. And let me grab my tablet so I can make sure I can bring that up. So one is very character quirky, right? So when we hear very character quirky, we think what in a photo? You know, almost goofy. You know, that person that always has that extra energy. I see it as that person that's always a little much, a little extra, or they may be a little dry. Maybe they don't have a personality. Something like that. Hey, Michael. You know what I mean. That's what very charactery means. So very charactery basically means, I'm going to look at the photo and see character, right? So if you don't have a photo that says that, then that would leave you out of that submission. So that's one submission you wouldn't go in today. Now, if you do have that charactery photo that we're talking about that fits you, then maybe you go, okay? Very real, non-commercial. Not pretty. So what that means is that they want nothing that looks too pretty. Nothing full makeup done. Nothing full, glam. No photo that's been overly photoshopped. All of these things would be a no-no, right? Because what they're saying is they just want regular looking people. Like if I went to the post office, the people who walk in are working at the post office. Or, you could go to the gas station. Maybe you're going to go pump gas, and that's who you walk into, That's the regular looking people, regular folk, okay? So if you don't have a photo that says regular folk, then that would leave you out of that submission. And then it says not pretty. So think about it. if you are not pretty, right? If I submit you for not pretty, you have to not be mad that I submitted you for not pretty, because it says on the submission, not pretty, meaning they don't want someone overly made up. So if your headshot is you looking like, you know, even if you're a male and you're too pretty, like, you don't look like you've done any work in your life, your hands are clean. There's all these different things that would take you out of that category, right? Um, Diverse backgrounds, body types. So what diverse background means, that means of color. So if you weren't of color, then that would leave you out of that submission. Meaning, if there were 10 jobs that day, right? And 8 of those jobs said diverse, then you would only qualify for 3. Okay? You guys get what I'm saying? Or 2, or I don't know, the counting. I'm so tired, but basically what that means is that if it says diverse, it says ethnicity, and it's not your own, then that leaves you out of the submission. So that's one thing you didn't get submitted for. So for instance, if there were 20 submissions that day, and most of them said Caucasian, then the diverse people wouldn't be submitted that day because there wasn't roles for them. Or if there were roles, it just said all ethnicities. So that leaves you out of some submissions. There's going to be some submissions that you won't qualify for. That's just life, right? Age ranges and things like that. You don't qualify. Here's another one, body types. So, right, they may say thin, pear-like. They may say little, today I saw pudgy. It was like cute little face you want to pinch and squeeze. I was like, what? For an adult? So the thing is that if you are not pudgy, then now that left you out of that submission, right? Okay. Punk. So if you don't have a photo where you look like, punk, goth, or something like that, you're there with blonde hair, blue eyes, looking like you just came from the cheer team, you wouldn't go in this because you don't match, okay? Best comedy folk. That was really what it said. Best comedy folk. So what that means is the people that are good at what? Improv, comedy, things like that. So if you're not in classes for comedy and you're not taking classes on improv, and when we talk, I don't get a sense of funny from you, then guess what? You don't go on that one either. That leaves you out, right? Are you guys tallying now? Are you guys calculating, Kay? Calculate now to see how many roles you could be submitted for, because this is very important, you guys, because at the end I'll probably ask you piercings and tattoos. So a lot of times they'll say real piercings, real tattoos. I see a lot of the barber commercials, those, they want the real thing because they on camera they want it to pull off as the real thing. Or if you're tatting someone, they may say real tattoo artist because they want to make sure you know exactly what you're doing and exactly what you're saying. So if you don't have piercings and tattoos, and maybe this is a, let me see, Citibank commercial, and it says real piercing, real tattoos, and it's a SAG National, but the only people that could go are the people who have real piercings and real tattoos. That leaves you out of that submission, okay? Bright colored hair. So what that means is not like a bright colored regular hair. People who dye their hair purple, pink, rainbow, what is it called? It's not going to be your regular colors. It's going to be colors that are out of the blue, colors that are not everyday, colors that you can notice, right? That would take you out, okay? Also, if you're bald, that would take you out, okay? Jennifer, I'm doing examples of both commercial and theatrical. I break it down in all aspects. Supermodel, because theatrical is not very different than commercial. They still ask for the same thing. So like where a commercial may ask for a supermodel, they say a supermodel for print or a supermodel appear in a commercial. But in theatrical, it might say, supermodel comes in from the party, just got off the runway, but it all is still the same, because we all know that supermodel has to be a certain size, right? And we all know that a supermodel has to be a certain height to be a supermodel. So with all that being said, right, you have to remember that there's still a qualification. So if you don't fit that qualification of supermodel, okay, you don't go. Okay. Androgynous female. That one was deep for me because I didn't have anyone I felt that really matched that. So really, to tell you the truth, I mean, everybody was out. So if you don't have a photo that says that, and that was a national commercial, then that leaves you out. That leaves you out. Yeah, I'll pull up breakdowns to give you guys a couple. LBGQT. So if you don't fit that category, that leaves you out. There's been a couple of different commercials, ads, promos, Facebook, where they want LBGQT, they want people who identify as non-gender, things like that. If you don't identify with those things and those are not you and you don't use those pronouns, then you don't fit. And that's one thing you didn't get submitted for. Not the fault of your agent, because we can't make you fit in something you just don't fit. So you have to remember, if you don't fit there, then you don't go in there, okay? Cool, fashionable, hip, okay? Cool, fashionable, hip. I know we all think we got that, swagger, all that, right? But cool, fashionable, hip means a certain thing. And if you don't have a photo that says that, then you're not going in that category. Skater chic. So basically, do you look like the skater kid? When I see that, I see like the dude with like long hair. He's wearing Vans. He's coming from the mid. But then again, Tony Hawk didn't really have long hair. So really, I mean, he got on some DCs. I mean, there's so many things that I'm looking at to see that if that person looks like the skater, the person that looks like the skater. They said ethnic motorbike rider. So who rides a bike? Do you look like you ride a bike? Do you look like you could ride a motorcycle? Do you have on chaps? I mean, I don't know, but that's another rule. If you don't have photos that say that, you can't be submitted. It said dancer, male and female. And I thought that was interesting because although I had dancers, I didn't have dancers with I didn't have a lot of dancers with photos. So it's like I dance, but there's no proof in the pudding that I dance. You just have to believe that I dance because I put it on my resume. But that doesn't tell me nothing. So, okay. Great with comedy. But then they said, wait, great with comedy, good hair on head. Oh. So if you are bald, you obviously weren't going. And I mean, I think short hair, you can't go. So that left all of you out. And you may have been good at comedy, but you didn't fit the other criteria. So therefore, you just couldn't go. Let's see. Let me pull something up. He probably wants his granny. Granny. Okay, here we go. Couple auditions on there. Hey. Okay. So, like, for this theatrical, right? This is a feature, right? Lead, okay? Lead. There's two things that may disqualify you from this, okay? Well, a couple things, and I'll give you a couple. So the guy's name is Miguel, right? He's in his 30s and his 40s, and he's any ethnicity. So that told me anyone could go because it was any ethnicity, right? 30s or 40, so we can round up, we can round down. If your picture looks like you're 30, then you might want to go. If your picture looks like you're 40, then you might want to go. Okay? He's smooth, slick, and educated. So that already tells me he's going to look like Rico Suave, like super, super smart, super slick, like slimy, but he's fine. But I don't know. There's so much going on. So my thing is, if your photo already, because he is the rival of the other person, doesn't look like that, then that would leave you out of that submission, right? The second thing, it says lead, okay? If you don't have anything, you have not proven in real that you can handle a lead, then you need to make sure that your agent is going to submit you for leads. Okay. The other thing, names preferred. So now we know if you don't have a name and you don't have credits, you already can't be submitted. So that was one thing theatrical you couldn't be submitted on because you didn't have a name. Okay. So I just want you guys to see this because I feel like if you knew what you could be submitted on, you would understand that you don't get 100 submissions in a day because there's no way you would qualify for every single role. Okay. This one's episodic. This one, 22 to 23, German. Must be fluent in German. All dialogue is in German. So here's the thing. If you don't speak German, even though it says all ethnicities, you don't go, right? So that's one thing you couldn't be submitted on. So within this same submission, even though 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the roles say German, right? 5 of the roles of this say German, right? There's 2 more roles and it says Italian, real Italian accent. No Italian American accents, please. So that means I'll get to the credit thing. Italian, they want a real Italian accent. So they want the real deal, right? So if you don't have that, then you wouldn't be going. Now, mind you, there are 1, 2, 3 roles left that we can submit on, but it's 45 to 55, okay? Male and female, and then 35 to 45 black. So 2 all ethnicities and 1 black. So if you're not African American, you definitely wouldn't be going in that profile, if that makes sense. You're not going there because, again, you're not black. Okay? Let me look at some of the messages real quick. I get that credit thing. Cancel. Hold on. You are black, Michael. I get the how do you get credits? You have to work for, you build credits by just taking jobs, you guys. I know we want to be picky. If you want me to submit you for a low budget, 125, just so you can get enough credits. These jobs are SAG. They just pay lower pay, but a credit is a credit, you know, and you make relationships on set when you go work for lower. Let's go to the next one. So this one is actually a feature film, Sony. So for instance, male 15 white. So if you're not 15 and white, there's one thing you don't get submitted on, okay? So tally that. So, but also, does he have to be male 15 and white with brown eyes and he's handsome? So one, if your eyes aren't anything other than brown, you were axed, right? You don't get to go, even if you are 15 and white, okay? Handsome, right? You may look a little nerdy, or you may look like something different. No, this is a union job. This Sony, okay? So if you don't fit it, you don't go. That's one more thing you didn't get submitted on, you guys. One more thing. Okay. So this is a film, okay, and it's female Mexican American, 16 to 20. She's rebellious. She's a firecracker. So I know the picture has to be she's ready for a fight, right? She's ready to defend, right? Something of the sort. I don't know why that. Oh, oh, now that's blue. Oh, I need to stop. Oh, okay. So we know that her picture has to be snappy, right? It has to be ooh Latina, right? When I see that, I think Rosie Perez. I don't know. I think J Lo. I think there's so many things. Sofia Vergara. There's so many people that I think, right? Yeah, but see, Marcus, see, this is where you messed up. You said half Asian, half white. When you said Asian, that left you out of the category, so you can't be submitted for that. Um, They also want people that identify as queer, non binary, transgender, or intersex. So the thing is that if they said they only wanted that, then you wouldn't be submitted for that. But they don't say that. But you guys get what I'm saying, okay? That. So this is a pilot, but what they want is a Haitian American. So if you are not Haitian, that this isn't going to work for you, okay? Because they want a Haitian American. Who's Haitian? Anyone on here Haitian? Well, people, because I just can't help myself, right? I just can't. Okay, next. Real quick. Oh, 1 hour episodic. Okay, so this one is a woman, okay, and she's in her 20s, and she's any ethnicity, okay, always been a good girl, grew up in a small town, okay. So that tells me she isn't be too pretty either, right? She's not gonna be too pretty. Terrace can't do it because there's 30s. So, um, that picture is gonna look like the small town girl. She's not gonna be too city girl, did up, extreme in makeup, all of that. That would leave you out. Um, she must be a strong singer. So if you can't hold the note, that leaves you out, okay? And this is a series regular, okay? Two, the second role is a male and he's Hispanic and he's in his 20s. So that means for this role, it's only Hispanic. So if you're not Hispanic, it leaves you out. He's a romantic, he's a third generation Latino. He's always been an outsider. So that tells me he has gusto, right? He's one of those people who probably is going to let people know about his family and say, like, I do this for my family. But again, he has to be a strong singer too. So if you're not a strong singer, not gonna go. Okay, let's do another. So this one is character, right? They said character first. That was the first keyword, character. Okay. Then it says male in his 40s, but he's Middle Eastern or Russian. So here's the thing. He's a jewelry designer to the stars. So that already tells me, because he's a jewelry designer to the stars, that he is going to be flashy, right? Because he's selling flashy stuff, right? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I am so good at this because down the sentence it says he's flashy as fuck. I was like, okay, I already saw him in my eyes. I saw him in my eyes. His office is lined and framed. Like, he just has all this stuff. He's like the superstar that's helping the superstars. So that already tells you that he is going to be Very extra. So if you don't have a photo that says that, and you are not Middle Eastern, and you can't are Russian, then you wouldn't go in the submission, and that's one thing you didn't get submitted for. So what I want you guys to see is there could be 50 submissions in a day, but you could not qualify or match at least half of those based on your photos, based on your profile, based on your reels, and based on what we know about you. That's why I tell you guys all the time, you think that we just don't want, you think we want to know too much information, but no, it's important. A lot of times people go like, why you want to know that? Well, I want to know that because they may ask for a real stunt car driver, or they may ask for a real teacher. Even in theatrical, sometimes they ask for a real teacher. And the thing is how would we know unless you tell us, you know? So that's why we are always asking so many questions. Uh, Let me go over the credit thing, because Christine told me about that. So the credits, right? There's this part in your career where you can't get further because you don't have any credits, right? And you're trying to build the credits. So when you're trying to build these credits, right, you got to realize that sometimes we do things for the experience, we do things for the relationships, and we do this for the connections and to get to the next point. So everything isn't going to be based on money. Everything isn't going to be based on negotiations. Everything isn't going to be based on the perfect role. You know, sometimes we just have to get a little bit further so we can show that we have experience on set many times, not a few, you know? If somebody's going to trust you with such a big role, you want to give them a reason to, right? There are special circumstances where they need to find something real quickly, or special circumstances where they need a special look, where you may just get in to fit in. But there are some times where you have to put in the work, and for that, your resume speaks it. So that's why I always tell people, if you can't get in this way, get in that way, but doesn't matter just as long as you're in. Um, Other things that could keep you from being submitted is when you put bases on when you can be submitted. So what that means is when you tell us, right, um, I'm booked out from January 15th to February 16th, and I'll be back for a month, and then I'll be back, and then I'm going to leave and be booked out another month, and then I'll be back. So what happens is we have to stop the submissions, you come back. We have to stop the submissions, you come back. And in between that time, you may get auditions. And then you call the office or email the office and say, I told you I was booked out. Why did you get me an audition? And then you're rude. And then I'm like, because it was during a time when we had to submit you. So if you're not available, just say I ain't gonna go. And everything is good. But it just seems like there's always drama, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing those things. And then the other thing about credits is you have to understand that you have to be available to go. Everybody wants to be local, okay? I get it. There are jobs that don't shoot in LA, right? There are jobs that don't shoot in Atlanta. You may have to travel, right? That's deep. Because this is a video game and it shoots in Paris, France. This is a feature film and it shoots in Brownsville. This is a feature film and it shoots in Staten Island. This is a limited series and it shoots in Baltimore. This is a music video, it shoots in Santa Clarita. This is a DC film and it shoots in Puerto Rico. Okay? Auburn, New York, La Mirada, California, Vancouver, Stockholm, Sweden. Pay attention here. You have to be available, right? To travel. You cannot say, I can't do that. I can't travel. I can't be available. And that could be why also you're not getting any auditions. So if you put limitations on where you could be submitted to, then that leaves you out of the category, right? I'm sorry. It does. Okay? Not last, but you know what I mean. Lastly, on the credit stuff, another thing that may leave you out is COVID. You know, I hate bringing it up, but it's true. Okay. COVID vaccine versus vaccinated versus unvaccinated. Um, I in no way tell anyone to get vaccinated. I think it's your own choice, right? Your own choice. But you have to understand that if you are not vaccinated, you have to understand that you may not book a job because of that and be okay with that. So that makes less submissions. You can't be unvaccinated saying, "Where are my auditions?" If something says vaccinated only, us agents can't override what they're saying. Okay? They have the end all, you guys. Also, we can't even control when we get an audition time. You guys get mad at the messenger. Don't get mad at the messenger. If you got an audition time, let's be proud. Because if you got a last minute audition, what can I do but just send it to you? That's all. I don't want you to miss your opportunity, but if you want me to decline, then I will, or I'll give it to someone else. But if you're getting an audition, it's your audition. I'm going to make sure you got it. Even if it came 30 minutes before, it's yours. How do I know you can't do it in 20 minutes? How do I know you don't take this super seriously? And if the casting director say 10 minutes later, can you get this done? You say yes. I don't know. I learned those things from you. You know, when you tell me no 20 times on an audition, then I know not to submit you. If you can't never do last minute things, and I start to take notes in my head that you can't do last minute things, and I don't submit you for last minute things. But if it's a person and I know that they're always turning in the stuff, then I'm like, I know without a shadow of a doubt, if they ask me to get this done, this person will get it done. So submit them. That's like when you get a booking by phone or by email, and the casting director may be asking for a specific person, and you can't give them the person because you know your person is not reliable. I mean, I have that person, but do you really want that person? No. You know, that's deep. You don't ever want to do that. Especially sometimes I do it because I know certain people have jobs. And I'm like, I can't do that because I know they got a job and they're gonna say no. And I don't want to put myself in a predicament to tell the casting director no or have to scrounge. So I don't do that. We've had this happen many of times, you know? That will leave you out of the submission. Mm. Trying to think what else will leave you out. Oh, self tapes. If you are a repeat offender of not turning in your self tapes, that will leave you out of submission because a self tape is still an audition. And even during COVID-19, it is really an audition. So if you don't turn in your self tapes, then why should we submit you anyways? We submit you for a job that you're not going to do. Like, come on. We just can't do that. So you got to remember those things, you know? Um, Let me think what else might keep you out. Christine, you on here? Tell me before I draw a blank. Um, oh, some of the other things that might keep you out of a commercial audition is real family, real friends, real cousins, boyfriend and girlfriend, real couple. Um, if it says prefer real couple, that means they prefer a real couple. If it says real couple only, then it's real couple only. Yes, look like your pictures. Yeah, some people don't look like their photos either. Um, if it says real family, right? You might say, I'm a real family, but you're not a real family with two kids ages 14 to 16 and 10 to 12. So that leaves you out. It might say real kids, real twins. If you're not a twin, that leaves you out. Um, Real gamer friends. You guys, that one gets me all the time. It says real gamer. And I know y'all play video games, but I don't have not a one person besides Isaac with a video game photo. I know you guys play video games. I know you guys have an Xbox, a PlayStation, a something. Okay? So that's a hint. Get you some gamer photos, okay? Things that you may be good at. You don't have those photos. Oh, a gamer photo just looks like this. It's like you sitting there with the game controller in your hand, like this, like like literally, like if we were gaming on a computer, I would have probably like headphones on, you would see my mic, which I have like right here, and I'd probably be gaming, right? Wait, hold on. Let's see if I can do it. But I probably have a mic though. Well, no, you know the gamer things have a mic like this, right? So maybe I wouldn't have this mic. I don't know. I would do something like that. And then I would have the computer in front of me, and then I would take a picture. And that would be my gamer picture. Just saying. If I was a podcaster, I'd probably have a photo like this because I'd be a podcaster. Real DJ. Lots of different things you could do, you guys. Use your imagination. Real smoker. Who's a real smoker, right? They always ask for that kind of stuff. People, I think they don't think out of the box. They say real smoker, or they'll be like, it'll be like a, what is it? Like a tobacco commercial, right? And they'll say, you know, rugged guy, da 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 da. And just think, there's a guy, and he has the photo, and he has the cowboy hat on, he has this cigarette like this, like he's about to, like, you know, whatever. That photo already is gonna go, you know, because he's already looking like the photo. Hairstylist, beautician. Where's a picture of you and your client in a chair? I mean, you guys got to think outside the box. I mean, do it have to be perfect? No. But do it have to be good quality? Yes. Just because I'm telling you to do a regular photo doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be good quality. It does have to be good quality still. But look, there are some Androids out there. There are some iPhones out there that do everything good quality. So it should not be that hard for you to do that. I am going to take some questions and answers before I go. Ask away. Let me see what I got here. Yes, dancer skills are important, okay? And looking like the photo. So dancer skills are important because, again, we can't always pretend that you know how to dance, you guys. And neither can the casting director. But if you have a photo of you in your ballet attire, or your jazz attire, or contemporary attire, or maybe you just have posed in a way that is very graceful, because all dancers have dance hands and dance feet and dance legs. Or maybe you have a short video of something that you just threw together, then that's what needs to be up, you know? That's what you got. Oh, send the link to the photos to contact@slatalent.com. There's a such thing as too many good headshots too. Like when you have so many headshots, it could be overwhelming, I think, because sometimes I'll be like, who are you? Are you her? Are you her? Are you him? Are you him? That can be questionable. So you just want to have the right photos. Cropped in, not far away. I say that all the time. Let me think. Yeah, you do want to look like your photo. You do want to make sure that you headshots are all about what you could play, you guys. A lot of people are always coming in and they always say, I got headshots, they're really good. And I'm like, it's not about that. Yeah, you look good in your headshots. Yeah, you know, you'll post that online because it's a good looking headshot. But is it really going to get you the roles that you want? And does it match the submissions, you know? Back in the days when I used to be a television and film agent, not that I'm not now, but back in the day when I first started, right? We had we had to pick out photos, and my boss always made us put 5 to 6 photos up on each casting network. So that means they were not the same, and it was going to cost you a pretty penny, but those were the photos that she wanted, and we would lay them out on the table, and we would pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 based on the way that we submit. We still do it now to this day, except for the actors kind of get above themselves and post the pictures themselves. So we never get the chance to really fix the photos like we need before you put them up. And you put them up and then it's too late. Correct. So when you change, right, you have to get new headshots. If anything changes, your hair color, your you know, some people within the summer they get a darker shade, and then within the winter they get lighter. That's a drastic change, right? Age, yeah, drastic change. Hair, eyebrows, maybe you shaved your eyebrows too much and now you don't look like the same person. There are lots of things that can make a person look different. Makeup can make a person look different. So, what the heck? No, I've never heard of that. I'm going to come back to that one. So, you want to make sure that you look like the headshots, and if something changes, you update the headshots, but you don't leave them on. So if you had brunette hair and then you changed to red hair, you're not going to leave all of those brunette hair photos. Now you can leave one for reference in case they want to put a wig or dye, but you're not going to leave 5 more, because what's going to happen is the CD is going to be like, who is she? Which one are we bringing in? Because we said redhead. We didn't say brunette. And we don't know if she's brunette or redhead, right? Because you don't know if the casting director's looking at your whole profile, right? So remember that. And then remember, you just got to have 5 to 6 different looks on each one. You can have more than that, but don't have one of the same photo. Don't have one of the same photo. I mean, like more than one of the same photo. So don't have 5 of the same look. And when I say the same look, you could be like this and then be like this and then be like this, and it's still the same look. Don't put the same photos up. That's no good. Read these messages. Okay, so when a talent manager, I would never see, okay, let me use law, okay, to ask that talent manager question. So basically, the way I want to answer this is like the legal way. So a power of attorney gives people the power over you. Meaning, so a power of attorney you could use when you die, right? When you are incompetent to care for yourself, when medically or educational, people who are disabled usually have power of attorneys. Elderly usually have power of attorneys. Sometimes, people who have kids and maybe they can't really care for their kids like they should have power of attorneys. There are different things that people have power of attorneys for. I've never seen one in acting. And if somebody wants power of attorney of your life for just being a talent manager, run for the hills. Because it's not correct. Okay? And I don't know who the talent manager is, so I don't want to say nothing bad. But I know if it were me, no one would be getting a power of attorney. Period. Do that, because then people come to my agency, they don't want to be taken advantage of, and I'm like, I'm not the one, but there is some out there. Okay, so Marcus' question was, will there still be auditions during the winter break? I mean, yeah, there's auditions all the time. I don't think there's ever a point where there isn't. Well, there is a point where there's like 1 or 2 breakdowns that come out at a time. But say, for instance, an agent can submit 5 weeks earlier and receive an audition 5 weeks later. So that's why you can't be so upset when you get an audition when you're booked out, because who knows when we submitted, okay? It could have been something a year ago. I don't know. But you could get an audition during that time. And if you get an audition, then you still got to do it. It's all the same. Nothing changes. The other thing is that although, okay, we might send out your audition, we're off. Okay. Although we might send out your audition, we're off. So what that means is we're not going to answer your questions because we're off. So everyone deserves time to spend time with their family. So we're off. Mm. We do have a guideline book. I'll send it out to everybody. Why not? But it'll tell you the holidays, and Christmas is one of them. And actually, I'm supposed to be off, but I'm not because we know I don't take time off. But um, there are slow times, and this is our slow time. So this is the time if you want to update your profiles, get new photos, do things like that. This is when you do it. Are you still going to be held liable for auditions? Yep. I mean, people are still booking, and people are still mm, having to do auditions. So, there was two sitting right here. So you still got to do auditions. I could take couple more questions before I get off. Right now the time because I know. Did I get questions in the email, right? I don't have time to answer your questions. I only have time now. Well, I was gonna tell. I'm gonna say this on video because I want to. So I had to drop somebody because they were mean to my child again. And I have said this on 100 different occasions. 100 different occasions. And I tell you guys this. I tell everybody this, right? Okay? I feel like I have to explain myself because I want everyone to understand. Okay? I said this at the Christmas party, but I know everybody was not at the Christmas party. So I know that I post this for people to watch it later. So, thank you, Joey. What I wanted to say is that I employ my daughter who has special needs, and she has traumatic brain injury, and she works very hard. And there are some times where the actors are so mean that she's having a hard time, and uh, that's a lot. And she currently has a brain bleed now, so she's working really hard with what she got and trying to get things done in a way where she's still able to help. And I want that for her because I want her to be able to have a job and live her life for as long as she can. And it's very upsetting when there is a actor who's irate over something that's so small, right? It is so small because there is more things in the world to be mad about, right? So let me explain this. You get an audition and it may not fit you as well. Or it may be SAG and maybe you're non-union. Wait, it may be non-union and maybe you're SAG. And maybe it was I call it our finger was happy on the trigger. Or maybe it's the end of the day and we're all tired and it's the last submission and we're just trying to get it done. Or maybe there are 10 actors calling at one time and we're just trying to do whatever. There's going to be a missed submission. Nobody is perfect, right? You just simply hit that decline and say, hey, I'm not available because this. I'm actually SAG. Then what we do is we take that audition and we give it to another person. It don't go in the trash. It's not like we go to the casting director and say, da 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 da. It's not on you, okay? We take that audition and we give it to an actor who may really need it or really want it, who, we're not going to just waste something unless we have to. So the thing is that you getting upset and irate in an email because somebody submitted you for something that you didn't really have to do in the first place doesn't make anything better. It doesn't. And it's very petty and mean. And the other thing is when you call anyone's office, not mine, anyone's office or email anyone, you have to remember your tone because respect goes a long way. And you don't know that the person behind the email or the person behind the phone is the person that's doing it to you. So if you are not for sure who is the person, why would you be mean to a person and it's not even them? That's deep. all got to learn how to love people. We all do. We do. And we can't keep doing stuff like that. That's not acceptable. We have to be better people. And I take those things very seriously when it comes down to my children. I have said that on 100 occasions. I have special needs children. They do not go to school because there isn't a school for kids with special needs that have autoimmune. Okay? So I'm their mother, their teacher, I'm their cook, I'm everything to them. Okay? And I take that very seriously. So the moment you think that you could yell at them, scream at them, or talk to them in a demeaning manner is when I cut the cord and say something really foul to you. Because I don't do that. And I don't know no mother who would sit there and allow anyone to talk to their children like that. I don't know no mother. Okay? So don't put me in a box and say what's more important, because that's what that talent did. And then called me unprofessional. I'm not unprofessional, but I'm a mother. I'm a mother. And I will always defend my kids. And I will always do for my kids. And I will always be there for my kids. And they come before everything. And even on video, I'm going to say that because it's important to know that nothing means more to Chantel than her family and her children. Okay? But that doesn't mean I don't love the actors. And that doesn't mean that I don't love my job. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to be the best at my job. It just means that I'm somebody's mom. And I take that seriously. And I feel like if I could give the actors respect and I can love the actors and I can submit you guys night and day and I can do that for you guys can show my children respect by respecting me by not calling my office being rude because of one little thing. We got to be better people. And we got to respect people and love people more. There's no way I would not call somebody's office with that irate stuff. For me, I don't. Unless you've done something to me, I don't feel like I have to do that. So that's why I don't understand. And maybe you guys can chime in and maybe tell me why an actor would do that. Because I get it. You saw something you didn't want to see, but did you have to take out somebody's whole soul because of that? You know? I don't know if I understand that. I don't know if I'll ever understand people being mean in that way. So I don't ever want there to be a confusion on anything. If I say it later and you say, why did she drop me or hang up in my face? Because I've hung up in people's faces that have said something about my child. So let's be honest here, okay? I will do it. I know, Michael, that's what I'm saying. Nobody has ever questioned them or said something to them, and that's why they think they can. But it's not okay to talk to disabled people like that. That's not okay. And really tell you the truth, if I've told you 15 times she's disabled, there's no reason why you should be screaming in her email. You scream in her email, I'm for sure going to scream at you. If I told you already, I told everybody, okay? There's no misunderstanding here, okay? So, and plus, we want to be the agency that, that thinks different. There's other people with disability that need jobs too. There's disabled actors. There's people, Demi Lovato had a stroke, right? And she struggles now to read her music. And they have to feed sometimes the music to her. But do you think the person feeding the music is like, nah, I'm not going to feed the music to her? No, because she's talented. She's talented. We're going to do what we got to do so that she could go out there and still entertain. You can't even think like that, you guys. We just got to have better hearts. And you can't expect to get somewhere further in your career treating people like that. Because there's this thing called karma, and karma don't play. So with that being said, you just got to be a nicer person. I done turned this into a whole love session. But I just had to say that at the end because, the agents is always telling me too for people to be nice. But you guys got to be more nicer. You don't get your point across being mean. You just don't. But remember what I said about I have to go. But remember what I said about the submissions, because that's really, really important. You want to make sure that you have photos that match the roles 2022. Okay. Although it's good to have a good photo, it's even better to have photos that match the role. Although it's good that you can have a skill, but you must have a photo or a video to prove the skill. Okay? And you must make sure that your headshots are cropped in and not so far away where you look like a little ant when the CD looks at your photos. Mm. Okay. I think that's what I want to tell you guys about your profiles. Yes. And stop changing the photos. Don't change your photos up. Stop. Let them be. Once you put them up, let them be. Yes. The reason why you gotta let them be is because we're submitting you for jobs, and we use your most common photo first so we can just get through it faster. But when you are on there switching up our photos, it's like, oh my gosh, like I just switched it and now I'm taking 10 to 15 more minutes putting the photos back. We already had the photos the way we want it. It becomes a lot, and then you think, oh, I'm just not going to submit them because I'm just going to go to the next one. Don't make your agent think that either. So leave your profiles alone unless your agent says, try to think what else. That's really it, you guys. Oh, let me share, because I'll post it anyways. You guys at the Christmas party raised $500 almost. It's like 400 something for my nonprofit, Brooklyn's Box. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it so much. Every dime is going to the families. And thank you for helping me raise awareness for caregiver burden and fatigue, and building a really good respite center for parents. I thank you guys. Let's continue the good work. See all the paint on my hand? I was busy because we have a January opening, so I'm trying to be done by then because this is my time off. And lastly, this is my time off, you guys. If you don't see me answer, that's probably going to be why. But I probably will answer, but I'm just saying, if I don't feel bad. It's my time off, okay? Let me make sure I don't have no more. You're right. The industry is all about relationships. Oh, and let me tell you about my nonprofit. The industry is all about relationships, so you got to be careful that you don't go pissing off people, because everybody knows everybody. Everybody's friends. You just want to make sure you just don't do that. So the nonprofit, the website is www.brooklynsbox.org. So if you want to know anything more about the nonprofit or me, because when I say me, because the nonprofit is me, it tells you a little bit more about the story of my kid's disability, a more bigger breakdown, and the services that the nonprofit provides for families. What was I going to think? There is a YouTube, but on my YouTube channel for the nonprofit, either way, if you email me a contact, I'll still get it. It comes to me too. But my YouTube videos on the nonprofit, they're more geared at medical professionals. So I do videos on, I talk to my friend who's a pediatrician, and we talk about the terminology, medical terminology, caregiver fatigue, caregiver burden. We talk about ACEs. If you are a medical professional, you probably know what ACEs is. We talk about ACEs. For those of you who don't know, I could probably teach you though. It is when you go into the doctor and they have that screening that they give you and they ask you all the impersonal questions. It's called ACEs. So it's, I'm not going to break down the words. If you want to go and know what it is, go to my Brooklyn's Box. But basically they use those inhibitors as to know what services to offer you or to help you with. So a lot of people look at those questions and they don't want to answer them because they feel like they're impersonal, in which they are. I ain't gonna lie. Before I knew what it was, I wasn't answering those questions, but it helps the medical professional to be able to help you. So um, that's what ACEs is. So we teach about that, and let me think. I do interviews with parents with kids with disability because I think that's important. They have to hear the story and hear what goes on. Um, Things like that. So it's not really, if I feel like if you're not medical, you ain't gonna want to go to that YouTube. But if you're a medical professional or you have a kid with disability, sure, it's probably for you. Mm. Um, Let me think. I think that's it. If you guys have any more questions, I'll answer. If not, um, I'm going to go cook a non-existent dinner that I don't want to cook. Let me think. I don't know what else I could tell you guys. That's why I'm running out of blank. I'm like blanked out. Sometimes I get like that when I have a lot on my mind. I get blanked out. You got it. Where's Christine? Christine, you still here? I miss you, boo. That's really it, you guys. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Um, Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. I absolutely love Christmas. Uh, I think I've said this before. I have so many Christmas trees because I absolutely love Christmas. Um, I was born Thanksgiving, but I hate Thanksgiving. I prefer Christmas. Do you guys like Christmas? Is Christmas nice for you guys? Are you guys like Scrant? What's the name? Scrooge, the Grinch. You just hate Christmas. My mother was like that. She just hated Christmas. But I was like, why? Why? Don't you want something shiny under the tree? Fast forward to now. Now she wants all the dough under the tree from me. Yes. You know what my favorite thing about Christmas is? A lot of people have a lot of different they have a lot of different traditions, you know? And I like to see the people's traditions. Like some people, you know, they're wearing matching outfits. You see people like with cookies. And I heard somebody who like they would eat a piece of the cookie and sit the cookie out and say Santa did it. People have like all kinds, and then some people don't celebrate because they don't of what they believe in, you know? So there's all kinds of different stories around that time. So it's always interesting for me to hear all of it because I always like, you know, it's just a time where you can enjoy the people that you love. And that's what I like about Christmas. It's just a time where it's just love, you know, a whole bunch of love, except for the people who try to make it negative. Then that's different. But besides that, it's love. Well, you eating people's cookies in July. The cookies been gone months earlier. And then you say, damn. Oh, wait. So Santa, he was coming around year round. I see. That's an interesting story. Happy New Year. Oh, my daughter's name is Brooklyn. And the nonprofit's called Brooklyn's Box. Brooklyn is like, yeah. Yeah, she's weird. I'm trying to think what else I want to tell you guys. That's really it. Yeah, 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 yeah. You guys, it's one of those things. Christmas time is here. First of all, they knew you did it. They just weren't going to tell you you did it. But they knew Santa didn't do it. They knew. They knew. They knew Santa didn't do it. Then, you know what? I'm probably still going to do Town Hall next week because guess what? It's going to be New Year's. And I'd love to see you guys before New Year's, you know? Because I'm not going to see you on New Year's. Because I'm I'm going to party like it's 1999 because I'm so done with 2021. And I'm sure you guys are done with 2021 too. It needs to go. It needs to go, go, go away. Back there. Like in the past already. You guys have a happy holidays. Um, love on your family because guess what? You only get one. Even if they irritate you, even if they're like the irritating cousin or the ratchet person or the person in the family that you just can't stand, okay? Make sure that this year you still say, hey, hey, cousin. Okay? Um, yeah. That's really it. I hope you guys could learn something from this. And next week when I come, we'll do another topic and then we'll chit chat at the end like we usually do because I like to be you guys' friends. Okay? So I will see you guys in the next video. And don't eat all the food because guess what? If you gain 20 pounds, then you have to take new headshots. Okay? Bye. Oh, wait. And ask all your family members for your Christmas gift to put in your audition clothes. Say, I only take audition clothes and Visa gift cards so I can get new headshots. And that should work. You get a couple of Visa gift cards and you're getting the best headshots. Or you get 5 of those Visa gift cards and guess what? That's 5 different headshot sessions throughout the year. Don't say I didn't teach you something. It's called hustle, okay? Hustle. Hustle. Hustle that money. You know what I mean. Hustle all the things. Matter of fact, just put a whole like little bank in the front and call it the headshot fund. And then when your family members or your friends come in, right? You say, it does sound odd, but eventually they'll get it. Okay? Eventually they'll get it. Every time they come in, you say, this is the headshot donation fund. Or say every time you forget this or every time this, then you have to put it in here. And then that should come up. And then eventually you guys are going to be laughing. And then maybe you could send them a copy of your headshot. Say, thank you. All your proceeds went to this. I'm a mess. I know. Okay, let me go to bed before I make this whole extravagant lie of a scheme, of a script that you guys need. I know. You guys have this book sitting here. I haven't even. One day. So, I will see you guys in the next video. We've already been over an hour. You guys have been the best. I will see you guys next week. And fix your profiles because you only have a short amount of time to do it, okay? Bye.